You're staring at your patio, trying to picture a dinner party, a lazy Sunday brunch, or just a place to sip coffee without tripping over a wobbly chair. The biggest fear. Spending good money on a set that looks great on the box but crumbles when the first summer storm rolls in, or when you actually try to sit down and it feels like a hard bench. I get that hesitation. There's a lot of cheap-look outdoor furniture out there promising all-weather durability that ends up looking like a busted lawn chair after a season. So before you decide whether the purple leaf outdoor dining set for 6 is worth the space on your deck, let's walk through the things that matter once it's actually in your yard. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, the overall silhouette of this set is meant to blend into a garden setting without screaming store display. The table frame and chair legs are made from a rust-resistant aluminum alloy, which is the same material you'll see on higher-priced patio lines. In real life, that means you can leave the set out year-round in a humid climate without worrying about orange-tinged spots or structural weakening. I've seen a neighbor in the Pacific Northwest keep his aluminum chairs out through rain, snow, and even a brief freeze, and they still look solid. The same principle applies here. The frames are lightweight enough to move around when you need to rearrange a party layout, yet they don't wobble under a full dinner plate. The fabric is where most outdoor sets stumble, and this is where Purple Leaf tries to stand out. It uses a premium blended Olefin fabric that's wrapped around a wide-width PE weave. Olefin is a synthetic that resists fading, mold, and mildew far better than typical polyester. In practical terms, if you set a bowl of tomato sauce on the table, the spill won't seep into the cushion or create a dark stain that becomes a permanent eyesore. The cushions themselves are filled with a high-density foam that keeps its shape after repeated use. You won't find yourself digging the cushion back into shape after a day of guests shifting in and out. Now, let's talk comfort. The chairs have an ergonomic backrest and armrests that are more than just decorative. When you sit down after a long day of work, the slight curve of the back supports your spine, and the armrests give you a place to rest your elbows while you eat. This isn't a hard-edge metal chair that forces you to hunch. The cushion thickness is enough that you can sit for an hour at a time without feeling the hard aluminum frame through the seat. In a real-world scenario, imagine a family of 6 having a weekend barbecue. The kids can swing their legs under the table, the adults can linger over a glass of wine, and nobody feels the need to get up because the seat isn't uncomfortable. However, there are a few trade-offs that matter if you're a picky buyer. The set comes in a teak-colored finish on the aluminum, which is meant to mimic wood without the maintenance. The color can appear slightly darker when first unpacked, and after several months of sun exposure it will lighten a bit. If you're looking for a crisp, bright white or a deep, natural wood grain, this finish might not hit the exact tone you imagined. Also, the cushions are removable for cleaning, which is a plus, but they are not machine washable. You'll need to spot clean with a mild soap and let them air dry, which could be a minor inconvenience if you host frequent messy meals. Who should buy this set? If you have a medium-sized patio or garden and you entertain a handful of guests regularly, think dinner parties, weekend brunches, or even just a dedicated family eating spot, the 6-piece arrangement provides enough seating without crowding the space. It's also a solid option for renters who want a durable set they can move at the end of a lease. The rust-resistant frame and fade-proof fabric make it low maintenance, so you won't be spending weekends recoating metal or pulling out a pressure washer. On the other hand, if you live in a region with extreme temperature swings, say, freezing winters that cause metal to contract and expand dramatically, you might notice the aluminum frames develop minor dents over time, even though the material itself won't rust. In those climates, a heavier steel frame might hold up better. Also, if you're looking for a truly luxurious feel, like plush, deep-seat lounge chairs with reclining options, this set is more about functional dining than lounge relaxation. It's built to be comfortable for meals, not for sprawling out with a book for hours. Let's examine the value proposition beyond the headline specs. The set includes a table that measures just enough to accommodate 6 plates, a pitcher, and a small centerpiece without feeling cramped. The tabletop is a smooth surface that wipes clean with a damp cloth, and because the legs are spread wide, you won't have to worry about the table tipping if a child leans on.